accusing him of cheating. Because he's a fighter, he jumped up too and started to go across the table at him. Joe pulled out his revolver. First shot went straight through the heart.
Why was that going off?
Why did that go off?
I don't know.
If you look at like her face, like you have to think about it. She was 16 in this picture and she was 30 when she died. So like, I don't know, but like if you look at like her eyebrows and her chin and her nose and then you like, tell me it's Ruby. I know it's Ruby.
Truth and Life Paranormal, along with Shane from Rem Investigations, make a trip to Las Vegas, Nevada. Not for the glamorous lights or for the party, but for the paranormal activity. 37 minutes from the Vegas Strip is the Pioneer Saloon, nestled in Goodsprings, Nevada. If you were to picture a Western bar in your head, this is what comes to mind. This location has featured gunfights, movie shoots, and even been in video games. The old saloon was made out of stamped tin inside and out and opened in 1913. It was surrounded by a bustling city. Stores, restaurants, churches, a theater, and many saloons lined Main Street. The city was known as one of the largest in Nevada at one time. Being one of the busiest cities in Nevada at one time, you could imagine crime being prominent. In 1915, at about 1:30 a.m. in the morning, a shooting took place in the bar during a game of cards, which led to a death. A minor, Paul Koski, was shot and killed by Joe Armstrong after Paul was caught cheating. In those days, you did not play cards and cheat, or you would not be having a good day. And in the case of Paul, he wouldn't live past the card game. According to the newspaper article, Paul was attempting to take the checks, and Armstrong was refusing him. Paul started becoming abusive and started climbing over the table to get to Armstrong. Armstrong hit him over the head with a gun. When that didn't stop Koski, Armstrong fired and fired until he died. Paul was not very liked and was known as a very quarrelsome man who had many scars. Today you can see the bullet holes in the walls of the bar where shootings have been obvious.
Open up, it's pitch black in there because all the blinds are shut. We shut them at night. And it sounds like there's people in like the dining room like hanging out type, like you hear people like giggling, laughing, coughing, like breathing, like, and I'm still scared. Like I still get scared. I don't like closing up at night by myself. I do it, but I don't like it. It's weird. I've sat like dishes up on the bar over there, and like I like stepped towards them to like grab the glasses, put them away when we had glasses at the time, and the whole thing just like someone just hit it and they just like shatter everywhere. But well, it's like a whole tray of dishes. Haven't touched any of them. Went to go touch them, and the whole shit just poof. And I'm like, why you gotta be like that? Like, why I gotta clean this up? Like, I would be in like the hall to get like juice to put up, and you feel just like and I'm like, what the? And I started getting to the point where I was like angry about it. Like, stop touching me. I don't want to be touched. Like, don't bother me. You know what I mean? I thought like at first if I was like really nice about it, like I won't get messed with, and that's not what happened at all. Like when I'm walking out, I'm like, good night, guys. You know, don't with me. You know, tomorrow, whatever. And then I like walk in, and as soon as I walk in, I'm already like, don't with me. Like I don't want to be with today. Like don't pull my hair. Be nice to me.
Another tragic death at the saloon was of Ruby Hill Barnes. Ruby was just 30 years old when she died, and still as of today, the murder is still not solved.
Like, some woman died in the bathroom, blah, 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 but what we've actually picked up from like using like the Ovilus and other things is that she was found right here. And I actually looked it up in the census. In 1939, she did live here. She moved from California. She had a daughter named Marcia. She had a son named Steve, and she moved out here. Her dad, I guess he was a miner. He owned a home out here in Goodsprings. She was 30 years old. She came out here. She got divorced. What we think that happened to her was she was working one night, and her estranged husband came in here. He found her. Like he was looking for her. He found her, and he murdered her. And it's like still unsolved if you look it up on like Find a Grave or anything. And it's weird because like last year in August, I had two girls from North Carolina come into the bar, and they were underage, so they sat in the dining room, and we were just talking, and they said they saw like ghost hunters, and they were like, oh, what about Ruby? I want to go to the bathroom, check it out. And I was like, oh, you can go in there and take pictures, and they're like, oh, well, has anybody ever seen anything? I'm like, nope, they haven't seen anything, but you know, you can go in there and try. And these two, dude, when they went in there, and I like waited outside the bathroom because they were scared, And then when they went in there and they came out, they're like flipping through their phone and they found a picture in like straight face, like clear as day of face, like smiling like a woman. And then if you look on like findagrave.com or whatever and you look up Ruby Hill Barnes, you will see a picture of like Ruby, and it was from her when she was, I think she was 16 years old, and when she died she was 30. But like her features, they're the same. Like it's legitimate. Like I know it. This bathroom's around?
Yeah.
Or the mirror? Like, dude, look at this. I'm telling you. Like, there, she would have to be right here, like a whole, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, like, I was outside because they were scared, and, well, they were minors, so that's why they sat in the dining room, but, like, they were scared to be in here. So I was like, I'll sit outside the bathroom, like, you're fine. And I've never seen it, no one's ever gotten a picture, so I was like, you're gonna be fine, just go in there. And I'm sitting out here by the draft, just, like, chit-chatting or whatever with my coworker. And then, like, they came out and they're going through the pictures and then they see it.
What did they say when they first saw that? Did they react?
They didn't see it when they took a picture. They didn't
But
see
after
it.
they reviewed it, did they?
Oh yeah,
did they react?
these girls were flipping, dude. And I was like, send me that. Like that's crazy. Cause like I have women all the time like coming here. Oh, we want to get a picture of Ruby. I'm like, okay, guys, and like whatever. You're not gonna get one. I've never had one since either. Like this is the only picture, and I've been here for 2 years. But like Ruby, I like legitimately like looked her up because people were like, oh, it's a prostitute, and I'm like, she worked in the Goodsprings. She worked in that general store. Like I know she made $539 in 1939. Like I looked into it because I was like, I feel some weird spiritual like connection. It's weird.
It was just random guys that came in and.
No, I don't think so. I think it was her estranged husband because she was divorced. So if you look on the census for Goodsprings in 1939 to 1940, it said that she was divorced. She was only 30 years old, so she was divorced. And if you think about it, she took her kids from California out here to Goodsprings in the middle of nowhere. Back then, there was nothing out here, dude. Like, so she brought her kids here to live with her dad. Why would she do that? You know what I mean? It's probably for a reason.
Yeah.
You don't know if he was abusive. Anyways, it's her. You look at like her face, like you have to think about it. She was 16 in this picture and she was 30 when she died. So like, I don't know, but like if you look at like her eyebrows and her chin and her nose, and then you like I'm telling you, it's Ruby. I know it's Ruby. Like I know it is. And I know it is because it's older version. And I know it is because when you put this picture down on that table, if we go into, say you had like a REM pod or whatever right now, more than likely, like I'm not even kidding, if you put it down on the table and you go into the cafe and you're like, and nothing will happen and you're like, oh, Ruby, blah, 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 you put it down, that's gonna be beep, 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 like everything is gonna light up.
A weird thing about it is Ruby seemed to love cats. And prior to our investigation, there were many strays who wandered outside the saloon. This could be total coincidence, but could her energy still reside here? She is claimed to still be here at the saloon today.
This place is weird because we've seen, like, this is called like the dish pit or whatever. A lot of people have seen like a black thing, and it just paces back and forth, it's back and forth, back and forth. We see it all the time. We see it through that window. They can be in here, and they can hear them and see them. Like something, it's just like a big, tall black, and it just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's almost like it's weird. It's like it just paces in here. But this, nobody likes the way that this feels. Over there, it's like, it's creepy and it's weird, but like, it doesn't like, doesn't make, I don't know, it doesn't make you feel like you have to leave. Like this is
So
like
you'd
nobody.
say this is like a dark spot out of the whole place?
Yep.
Okay. Hollywood stars and married couple Carole Lombard and Clark Gable are very known to the Pioneer Saloon, remembered for a horrific tragic event that took place near Goodsprings. On January 16, 1942, Carole Lombard and others died due to a plane crash in Mt Potosi. During the time though, a search party began at the Pioneer Saloon, where husband Clark Gable spent a very stressful 3 days waiting on the news of the status of his wife's condition. Today it is claimed you can see the exact spot Gable sat, as there are holes on the bar where his cigarettes burnt through, while others claim Carole's spirit appears at the saloon.
I've been actually doing this for about 3 years here. I had a radio station and a radio show that they brought us out here, and so they invited me for a lockdown, so part of the show. and I stayed after, and then they invited me to be part of the team. Every single lockdown is memorable. We have something that's different every single time. So for me, we had a table sitting in here, and so we have a lot of, because this is a memorial room, and with Carole Lombard, when her plane went down, she was with a lot of military people. And when we had, there was a military guy here, he was in communications. His father had just passed away, and so we had a REM pod, and the REM pod started going off. It was doing Morse code.
Oh, really?
So he was actually talking with his son through Morse code using the REM pods. It varies on the night, so sometimes it's in here, sometimes it's in there with the bullet holes by where Paul Koski was shot and killed, and then other times back in the kitchen area, we get a lot of activity back in there, get a lot of responses to the REM pod. They'll start lighting up. We request them to go to a certain color, and they'll actually do it.
We are informed of a mine shaft in the saloon, so we go take a look.
The mine shaft, they've actually closed it off, but back in there is access to it. So there's actually 2 miles worth of mine shafts under the town.
There is a theory that mines play a role in paranormal activity. Could this be a reason energy still resides here?
They've actually moved some stuff on top of it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So it is literally right under there. So that was the access into it.
So they would just come here and just go down inside the...
Well, this wasn't here, this portion of it.
They just built
They
on top
had
of
built
it?
this on, yes. But yeah, Ghost Adventures actually went down inside of there, and it's not safe at all.
The Pioneer Saloon has a lot of similarities as other claimed haunted locations in regards to the perfect recipe for hauntings to take place. Deaths, tragedies, and sadness. Will we find paranormal activity at this location on this particular night? Shane and I are accompanied by others during this investigation, so we start by playing games of poker to see if we can stir up some activity at the saloon. Apparently, playing poker will trigger activity, so we attempt to see if it works.
So here we go.
They're
There's a cell
excited.
phone over there. Or is there?
This is what happens every time we play a game.
Really? So
When we-
that's just going off.
That's just,
itself.
this is the normal thing. There's no cell phones in here right now.
They get all excited.
Right as we are dealing cards, a few of the EMF meters started detecting something. I will note that for 3 minutes of sitting at the table waiting for everything to start, the meters were not detecting anything. I believed it to be the phone at first, so it was moved off the table to ensure it was not interference.
Oops, that was me.
2.
2 for Boobar. 2? Okay.
Thank you.
I'll do 1.
Uh-oh. And now I am going to take 3 because I'm a loser.
The reason we bring the whiskey out is because Paul Koski is, he liked to drink a lot of whiskey. And usually when we start playing, we'll start asking if he's ready, and you'll see those start going off every time we start talking about the whiskey. Those will start going off even more so. So Paul, if you're here, can you make these go off over here so that way I can pour you some whiskey? You gotta make them go off for me, please. They stopped.
You see that?
Well, it blinked on my side.
On this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
just one.
Can you do that again for me, please? I've got it right here for you, Paul. So with Paul Koski, he was actually here at this table right here, and it was in the summer of July 15th, or July 1915, and it was just the heat of summer, and they were all playing. They were on a 3-day bender, so they were drinking their whiskey and having the girls, and just they were all gambling. And so Paul Koski was a fighter, and he had been in prison several times, and he was a boxer in prison, so he was a big guy, about 6 foot, and back in the day that was kind of big because the average height was about 5'7". So he liked to fight, and when we start talking about him, they'll start going off again. But he liked to fight, so they were on a 3-day bender doing cards, and for some reason Paul was winning. And Paul was not a good gambler, and he did not normally win. So he was winning, and he says he was going to quit and take his winnings, and he went to get it from the table. And they said, "You got to give us a chance to win our money back." So he said, "One more hand, and then I'll be done." So they're playing, and then he lays down 4 aces. And he went to reach for his winnings, and another ace fell out of his arm. So that's when Joe Armstrong, sitting right there, jumps up, accused him of cheating. Because he's a fighter, he jumped up too and started to go across the table at him. Joe pulled out his revolver. First shot went straight through the heart and through the wall. The other one went through his shoulder, and then the third one missed. So that's what the 3 bullet holes are in the wall. So Paul, did you like us telling your story? They're not very active tonight.
Hey Paul, I just want to say hello, and my name's Tyler. It's nice to meet you. If you can come over here and just verify that you can hear me, you can set this off at any time. Can you come over and do that real quick, please? Just for a hello.
So Paul, we're going to continue playing. Can you help one of us with cards? We can really use some help.
Tyler, it's your bet. Okay. Perfect.
Fold.
You're gonna fold?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
So we got 3 people folding.
2. France.
France.
All right, Tabby.
What'd you say, buddy?
Pair of 9s. Nothing.
At this time, I had stopped the video camera to start another video file. While I was doing this, the ovulus seemed to reply intelligently to Mary after she insisted she would give Paul a shot by it answering Jack.
9s. Nothing.
She was bluffing.
Pair of 2s. Well,
Nancy won.
Nancy's the winner.
Nancy's the big winner.
So Paul, we can use your help on this. And if you can help us, I'll give you a shot. You ready for your whiskey?
Was he referring to Jack Daniel's
Did I get all
whiskey?
the cards?
One can only speculate. This could be coincidence, but it was worth documenting for future reference.
He's so active normally.
Yeah.
We'll get it
He's
going.
always like yanking my hair and shit.
We'll get it going.
Yeah. What? What'd you say?
You sub.
So like I said, you suck.
Yeah, no,
I
yeah.
thought he said that.
You.
2 words
Said
for you.
Sub yielding Jack.
Go ahead, Jess.
All right, ready?
All right, Paul, I got your drink here for you, but you got to talk to us.
How many is that? Okay.
4.
That just went off, by the way.
This did?
Yeah, it went to yellow.
All right. This hand is like my love life.
Excited?
No.
There you go, yeah.
That's going green
Oh,
Which one's
they're here.
in front of me.
All of them are going off.
Uh-oh.
So,
Oh, hey.
so the funny thing is they do like corny jokes.
Oh, okay.
So when when everybody starts, you notice it went off after he did that. So it'll start the more interactive we are and just laughing and joking, it will start getting really active.
Okay.
You'd be working off the clock.
Yeah.
And he's used to that. He works for me.
The K2 meters are at a constant milligauss reading. Typically, we see this only when near a constant electrical source. So what were the K2 meters picking up on?
1.
1.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's where I'm at. My friend won.
2 right
1.
these
Oh
two
boy,
are
this is going to be a
These 2 are going.
knockdown.
I'll do one.
How many do you want?
3.
3.
We got our 2 going on.
There you go. And you want
So
1?
there's 3 of them going off now. Is yours going? Yeah. And these are all new batteries.
All right, so Tyler, I think you're the first to bet.
Raise 2.
Okay.
I'll call.
Call.
I see you and raise you 2 more.
Uh-oh.
I have 6 to put in.
Okay, so
Well,
she's raising
she's
it
raising 2
2
more.
more.
Let's
So
see
who called
wins.
first?
So
She did, right?
Shane was the one who
Okay.
bet first.
There you go.
So you want
He
to turn
shows
them
his
all over?
hands. Oh, what is this garbage? Oh, Where's my gun?
I don't have sleeves, man.
All right, so what we like to do is toast spirits to the spirits.
Spirits to the spirits.
So
You're welcome.
this one is for Paul.
Paul.
Ball.
He's quiet. I don't know why. Welcome, Paul.
He's a little shy.
He's really not though.
Yeah, he's usually more active.
I was just, while you guys were talking, I was just like observing all the K2 meters. They're just really quiet.
Mhm.
Did you notice that?
I didn't see anything go off, no.
What's that mean? What is that?
Because we weren't talking about Paul and all of them
Yeah.
going on. It's like if we're talking about other stuff, it does get quiet. So when we start talking about Paul, we do have the ladies of the night.
Oh.
And so that's where we talk about them, and they do like to play with the men. And you'll feel, when we go in there especially, you'll feel them touching the back of your neck and your hair and stuff like that.
Is what don't you do?
We begin talking about some inappropriate things, and then the EMF meters start to go off, even establishing a hit on the mel meter.
You don't
They
know
like
how
that apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, it was going off. I saw it.
The ladies of the night know what I'm talking about. See, look, it's on the yellow. They're like, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Back in 1915, it was big. All right. You were the first to bet, Nancy.
Good. Did you?
Now, I can't say for sure that these hits on the EMF meters are proof of ghosts or spirits,
You're betting too?
but I can say they are unexplainable.
Okay.
Next time we will need to do an EMF sweep around the building to determine if there are any explained sources of EMF. One's always, well, these ones started earlier just like this when you left in front of me. Well, it started on this one, it was just going for a second, so I pulled the other one over. Well, I switched that one over here, and then it stopped for a bit, and then it started going off over here. And then I put it back over here and brought them both together, and it's been doing this on and off.
Okay, so I do have a SB7 right there. Do you want to try to ask questions?
Yeah, I mean,
Is one of these yours?
yeah, the one on the left-hand side is mine. Did you enjoy the whiskey? Do you want some more? If this is you setting off these K2 meters in front of me right here, can you come through that device and say yes?
Would you like a cigar?
Yeah.
Yes, if we can move over there.
Okay, yes, sir.
Where?
We're going to go over to the cafeteria.
Yeah. Like very hot. She got it boiling in there.
Seems like all the women are just showing us up tonight.
They are.
Everything. Why was that going off?
Why did that go
I don't know. Why is it going off?
Hey, Ruby.
And the REM pod.
Hey.
Wait,
Is that
that
your
yours?
equipment?
Yeah.
Hey, Ruby. Hey, baby.
You guys want to move to the side thing a little bit?
Yeah.
Or don't stand?
He's got a,
Yeah, it's a motion sensor you're standing in front of. That's why it's going off.
Okay. Where should I go?
Either way.
Right here?
This way or that way, yeah. It's shooting that way towards the bar.
Okay, I'll go this way.
Is that weird?
What, the music box?
Yeah.
Slow on battery, but
But why was mine going off? After reviewing the footage, it is inconclusive whether my red pod was being triggered or if it was the one the Pioneer lockdown team was holding. With that said, the music box was debunked. While reviewing the live stream footage from Rem Investigations, I stopped counting after the music box was set off 20 times. We conclude this was just a bad battery, which will trigger it to report false positives.
Maybe she's into beards.
She likes to be a...
I mean, if you think about
Hey,
it,
this
back
one
in the
red-
day, I mean, let's be real.
Hey,
True.
let's be real.
start asking her questions.
The minute we stopped talking about it, now I'm back to green.
It's
Are
not
you here,
going
Ruby?
off.
Ruby, do I look like one of the men you've Got a fancy too? I'll let you stroke my beard.
Did you work in here in 1939?
Hey Ruby, I want to ask Ruby, are you here with us? If you are, can you please go just say hi by setting off some of those devices over there, so that we know that you're here with us?
Do you want them to see your picture again, Ruby? I'll show your picture again. I know you like the picture. It's a picture of you, right? Yep. I know.
Mine's going off again.
Yeah. It's a picture of her.
Is that
Is
you,
that a
Ruby?
picture of you in the bathroom with those girls from North Carolina? Those sisters? Wait. Put it back on. There you go.
See?
Oh, good stuff.
Is that a picture of you?
You can set off one of those devices on the table over there.
Yep. Go for it.
Well, there's somebody else here as well. It's not Ruby. Ruby is here, but there's somebody else here too.
Yeah.
So we need to talk to them as well.
Who's the other?
It's a male.
Not Paul.
No,
Is it? It's not a kid.
no.
I wonder if it's.
Who else is here with us?
This is somebody that doesn't belong here.
Oh, holy moly.
Oh.
Mine went almost red when I asked that.
Oh.
Yeah, mine went way up to orange.
So this is somebody that's a visitor. Can you make one of those light up for me? Because I can feel you here.
Yeah, hers is all red.
Yeah, so when Nancy sits right there, she interacts with her quite a bit.
Hey, Ruby. Can you make this go for us?
Sure. I showed my.
Question. The weird little body tingly stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
That's usually them trying to connect with you. If you feel them touching you, that's what you're going to get. It's almost like, have you walked through a spider web?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
So when you feel like you've walked through a spider web, that's them trying to come through you. They're
Okay.
trying to connect with you, and they possibly.
So that's
could
what
be-
I feel.
Yes, they could be passing through you.
Okay.
In here.
Watch
Okay.
out for that step over there.
Okay. So apparently
So-
we see shadows walking.
No, I feel it like super strong now. That weird feeling, like insanely strong.
Oh, it's a little wobbly. Okay. I see what you guys were talking about.
So normally it's right about here.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, I wonder if it's the freezers too. That's.
Well, when we do the REM pod right here,
Mhm.
it'll be nothing, and then when we start talking to it, then all of a sudden it'll start responding.
Okay.
So there's a Jeremy that's in here,
A what?
a guy named Jeremy.
That's my name.
But there's a Jeremy that was a miner, and he had been hurt in the mines, but he sticks around here because he doesn't want to move on.
Really?
Yes, he's done a few things, and he's afraid of moving to the other side of what he's going to face on the other side.
Really?
Wasn't it the last few times like an Evelyn or something?
There's an Evelyn here too, yes.
I always try to remember her name. I'm like
And a Catherine.
the cat.
So Jeremy, if you're here, my name's Jeremy also.
So Jeremy, have you ever felt that spider web tingly feeling before?
No.
No. Yeah.
How to describe it or
Yeah.
what to make of it either.
Yeah.
It's literally like I can feel it in my head a lot, and then throughout the body, but it's not like the goosebump feeling. It's different.
Yeah. Jeremy is describing exactly the same feeling I got on one of our past investigations. Hard to describe, but in similar places on the body. Listen to how I described it. I'm not lying right now. It just feels electric, like very electric over here right now. Hair all over it just felt this in my upper body just stand up. Although this is not proof of the paranormal, it is something to keep a lookout for in case the feelings return in the future. Do you think these feelings are due to some entity being around
So he's
us?
going back there, and now we have someone touching my head.
Are you touching Mary's hair?
So he's going in a circle. He's pacing. And normally he's right back in you there.
But he's not. He's here.
This time he's going around and around. It's like he's just been, somebody's agitated or something.
Do you not want us back here? You want time to rest?
There's that weird feeling again.
I think it's, yeah. There was other stuff popping up on
What
that.
is it? It's addiction and doctor.
You said
Diction, like dictation?
maybe addiction?
I think so. Okay, so I keep feeling like something right here on my head is just touching right here.
You're saying Dr. Jeremy because you knew I was a medic? I was known by Doc.
By Doc?
Are you messing with the speaker?
Power on.
No. I'm gonna say.
Okay, this is not working now. Let's see, unplug it and plug it back in.
This thing keeps changing up.
There was that cold.
Right. And then that went off. See, because I keep feeling it on my head. Okay, thank you. Can you do that again for me, please? Thank you.
I've never tried this back here.
We have once before, but it didn't do anything. But that's being weird tonight on the sound.
Well, so when there was one night, I forgot which night it was, and you had walked out over there. But I don't know why it's happening.
As the lockdown team sets up the spirit box in the kitchen of the cafe, I notice the K2 meter going off very sporadically. This motivates me to check the EMF coming from the room again, only to find very inconsistent readings coming from the room. This does not prove anything of paranormal nature, but it is becoming a trend where we find very inconsistent readings at reported haunted locations. Could these inconsistent EMF readings tie into the reported hauntings?
Do they know how to talk through that one?
It said that they can ride the waves into this particular device. I mean, it's a device with an antenna.
It just said
It was
something.
a female.
Of course.
Ruby, is that you?
Can you say that again, please?
I hear stuff, but it's underneath all the noise.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I just
hear
heard a
that.
thump.
Yeah. Are you moving stuff inside the fridge?
So remember you said make a noise. Sometimes
Yeah.
it takes a while for them to respond.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that was you, so you would have to do it again just to verify. We appreciate that. It would just verify that you are willing to talk to us, or trying to. If you could, please.
It's lighting up red.
You know what I've noticed? Every time Marilyn walks out of the room, they start going, what, the EMF? Yeah, there's some of the EMF is getting set off because of the coolers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it go all the way up to red like
Well,
that?
that's what I'm saying. It was kind of weird. It just jumped up, but
Is that somebody trying to talk to us?
yeah, I'm hearing it. I think the speaker needs to be changed out or something. Okay, we're gonna go to the other room, okay? Is that all right?
Yeah, 'cause that speaker is really down. It would sound like that.
All right, we're gonna go to the next room. Are you getting anything coming through the spirit box or no? No.
No, the K2 goes up quite a bit.
One time, right in there,
Mm-hmm.
this happened.
Okay, I think, yeah.
I was doing that all night long.
Yeah.
and you're like, what the?
It was weird. You want to see it?
I mean, you'd have to be shaking pretty good for that to.
The memorial room? Uh-huh. Is it moving?
Well, I was jumping around a little bit and seeing how it moves.
Did you see the video Chaz has?
Yeah. He was showing me. I mean, unless someone was jumping around for a little bit. But, I mean,
The way
It takes
that was.
quite a bit.
yeah,
It was swaying like it was on a boat.
yeah.
Yeah, because I was standing where you're at watching it, and it was just
Yeah, it's
like
not
this.
swaying like it was on the video.
No.
The ice cream scoop footage is very strange. As I jump up and down, I am able to recreate the scoop moving, but it does not match the exact movements in the video. I have concluded the video to be very strange in nature.
Pretty quiet here.
Yeah, it sounded like we were getting stuff back there, but the speaker's kind of
Yeah,
fuzzy.
we never had that problem with the
Yeah.
speaker.
Ruby, is this where you were at? Because the millimeter's showing a point 1.2. Why is the temperature dropping so fast?
What is?
The temperature on that. Look how fast that thing's dropping.
You're picking them up?
Yeah. That temperature change is dropping drastically.
It was at 70.
Yeah. Like it's just going down. Hey Ruby, if that's you, could you please lower that more? The numbers on the screen? You're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing. He did just
After analyzing the footage, I have concluded that the drop in temperature is because of the temperature being taken on the floor, which is colder. Remember, hot air rises.
It's easier to make a noise. Can you make a noise by tapping on the wall? It's been going off.
On and off?
It was hitting red earlier. But none of the other devices really went
Nothing
off
was
until you were
going
back in the kitchen, no.
I gotta watch the film back and see if the red pod was going off when I walked in too. I thought it was.
I thought they both went off,
Yeah.
but
You want to go to the other side of it
yeah.
and see?
We attempted to communicate with Ruby, but yielded no concise results. We moved back to the saloon, into the memorial room.
A shadow sitting in the corner.
Over in this corner here? Is there somebody in here with us tonight? Is there somebody that likes to stand in this corner?
Can you tap the wall, please? Someone's in here. Is it easier to do that?
Is it?
Yeah, just
Okay.
from night vision.
I know you guys know a lot of these people in here, and my name's Tyler, and this is Shane over here. We don't mean no harm. We just want to communicate. Who likes to sit up in that corner? Anybody can answer.
If there's some area in this place you want us to be, can you make a sound in that area? And we'll go towards it. That way, huh?
Sometimes these curtains move. Could you do that for us tonight, please?
We also get a lot of activity here. This curtain is like this is a pathway, and they'll come through here quite a bit. And we had a table sitting here. This is kind of what we consider the hot spot right here. We'll come in here and sit on the floor with your REM pods and start talking, and you'll start feeling cold drafts, and the curtains will start moving on their own.
Yeah, I think a draft came out. I felt it on my hand.
He had not opened that door yet.
And the guy who walked out did not open the door yet to create a draft. Watch the curtains and listen to the door being opened and closed, and notice the curtains moved beforehand.
Yeah, I think a draft came out. I felt it on my hand.
Do you feel a draft coming in?
No, now I don't, but when I was standing here, I felt it on my knuckles.
Yeah, and he hadn't made it to the door yet.
Do we know if that moves?
Go open the door.
Yeah.
See.
Tyler, do you want to record
No, the front door. Like you're coming in, see if whenever he opens.
this one by the
Yeah.
fire extinguisher? Tyler just disappeared.
Go ahead and close it back.
Do you want to record this? I'm gonna open that door and see if we can
Oh, okay,
recreate
I will.
Yeah, because he was still standing here in this doorway right here when it started moving.
Did you see it moving?
that. Oh yeah, I got it on video, but
And then I have it, cameras here show that he was right here.
I felt a draft on my knuckles right here.
And so
But-
when you start talking, they'll start interacting with you. Go ahead and open that door.
Okay.
Open it? Yeah.
Can we open it and close it again?
Go ahead and open and close.
Anything?
No? Okay, open it one more time. And go ahead and close.
Close it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did a little bit.
Yeah, do it.
We were able to recreate the curtains moving by
Was that the
creating
door they
a
walked
draft
out?
from the doors. Did they go out the door as soon as it happened?
Moving and is the door open or
The door is closed.
Closed.
If there's somebody interacting with this curtain, can you make it more obvious in some way? If you have the energy to do so. After investigating for a bit, the curtains never moved again in a weird manner, but we still don't see any concise, conclusive results for why the curtain moved the first time. I'm not too experienced with the Ovilus,
And then we also
but could
have
the spirits be mad that we are
bartender
recording and
was
using
here
other equipment
at
tonight?
this very spot. He used
As
to
we
come
go
in
into the
here
bar,
and
we are
do
told of a horrific
miners
story
and doing
of a
grinding,
bartender
and
at the
he'd come in
Pioneer
and
Saloon.
And he would line up shots and tell them the joke of the day. So there was one day, and he was considered the happiest bartender. And one day they came in, and he lined the shots up, and they're like, "Well, where's our joke of the day?" And he's like, "Well, you want to know the joke of the day?" They're like, "Yeah." And he's like,
At this very moment, my audio recorder and Shane's camera audio capture a strange voice or sound in the memorial room. Take a listen.
Are you by my neck right now? Are you by my neck right now? Are you by my neck
What makes this voice or sound weird is that it was not heard in the bar. Also, one of the haunted lockdown team members asks if someone is by her neck at the same time. Everyone was accounted for inside the building, so documenting this odd noise or voice is worth documenting.
And one day they came in and he lined the shots up and they're like, well, where's our joke of the day? And he's like, well, you want to know the joke of the day? They're like, yeah. And he's like, well, have you heard about the bartender who killed himself? They're like, no, tell us about the bartender who killed himself. He pulled out a revolver and right here, shot himself in the head.
What?
Right in front of everybody.
Right here.
Right here. Jason Butterfield.
Oh my gosh.
And the reason he did that is they say that he contracted syphilis and he was going to die with a smile on his face. And he did it the way he wanted to, where he loved working here in the bar.
That happened here?
That happened.
That's the same thing I said. Here?
Do you know what year that was?
I do not.
Are we able to look up his name on...
Should be able to, but that's just
not
the
gonna
stories that they passed down to me.
Okay.
As I've, just come over if that's what they were talking about.
Okay.
They don't have any documentation of that.
Yeah.
So those are just kind of stories that they tell that's gone down the line. So.
Okay.
But yeah, anytime we line up the shots on the bar, we can usually sometimes recreate it.
Okay.
We'll start.
Yeah, Shane, I wanted to recreate that just real quick, just to see if anything were to come out of it.
We all gather in the bar to recreate the horrific story of the bartender who may have killed himself, to see if it spikes any activity in the building.
And then all I'm going to say is, as she's not talking, I'm going to say, hey, what about our joke of the day?
Okay.
Because that's what she normally does.
Okay.
He normally does. Hey, where's our joke of the day?
What, you want to hear the joke of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the joke of the day? Yeah.
Have you not heard of the bartender who killed himself?
No, tell us about the bartender who killed himself.
Yes!
That was pretty
You
good.
can get up, buddy.
Wait a minute.
He's committed.
His fingers were loaded.
I'll drink to that.
You got your what on?
With nothing out of the ordinary happening,
Really?
Shane and I get a chance to investigate the women's restroom, where a strange face was captured on camera, and reports of hearing a woman cry inside
I just wanna
when
ask
nobody
this.
is in there.
Yeah. Hey, so the crying that happens in here,
Yes.
do you guys think that's Ruby that's doing that? Or,
I think there's another woman that was actually killed in the bathroom,
okay.
and that's what they're talking about, her being strangled in there. It was not Ruby, but there was another woman that was in there,
Do you pick up on any names of any sort?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth? Okay. We're gonna use that name and see if anything were to happen. So this is where they caught the face, apparently. We hear that there's a girl who cries in here, or a woman.
Yeah, it started going off and it wasn't.
I don't think they were responding, it's just going off.
Can you step back from it, please? Thank you.
Through the ceiling. Go to the one back here, see if there's any.
No. But maybe on this
Yeah.
side. And that light dimmed a bit.
Yeah.
And
Well,
now
they
on that
both
side it's
kinda
going to red.
Is that you letting us know that you're here? Is it okay if we ask some questions real quick? We got a microphone sitting up here. If you know what a microphone is, you can just speak into it and we can hear you. That's all that is. Yeah. But I don't understand this, man.
Going to red a lot. It's weird, it just goes to red and then it stops.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was going around, because I'm trying to like locate some source of why it would do that.
That's a lot of EMF.
I mean, it's like that throughout the whole place. I mean,
And that's the thing, like with here, like then you put it around, doesn't do anything.
well, this reminds me of the Phelps Dodge again, where there was just
Pockets. Or,
pockets and then
But-
just go away.
and then it goes away.
I know this makes no sense, but you know, I'm just trying every outlet to see if something will set it off.
Why would it be on the red?
There were pockets of EMF throughout the women's restroom, and once again having a lot of similarities to other claimed haunted locations. I can only wonder if these pockets of inconsistent EMF fields have something to do with the paranormal activity being reported.
It said, would anybody like to show themselves at the bar? And it popped up in between the two TV screens. Other than that, probably some.
The Pioneer Saloon has had some tragic moments throughout the years. It was a place to get away for many, a place to unwind, and it still holds true today. While people go in and out, there lies in everyone's head there may be visitors there who they can't see. We didn't capture much evidence on this investigation, only very inconsistent EMF fields and a possible EVP.
Are you by my neck right now?
So it's hard to determine if we encountered a haunting for sure. But this investigation has taught me these pockets of EMFs may hold something to it. Could these EMF fields have something to do with the paranormal encounters here?
With here, like then you put it around, doesn't do anything.
Well, this reminds me of the Phelps Dodge again, where there was just
Pockets. Or,
pockets and then just go away.
and then it goes away.
This location has many stories of hauntings and may never cease. This is a place of memory for those lost, which could be in theory why there is paranormal activity here at the Pioneer Saloon.